How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here. I gotta put on my Mario hat for this one. This is big news here. Big news. My free Mario hat from PAX for playing Mario Maker. Hey, so, how are you feeling? I already asked you that. Nintendo just leaked the list for games for the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. They haven't even announced the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition yet, but I already have the list. And the list is 18 games plus one. You remember how the Super Nintendo Classic Edition had, what was it, 21 games plus one or 20 games plus one? That plus one was Starfox 2 for the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. This one, they have 19 games, so I'm going to assume, and this is complete assumption, that they're going to list it as 18 games plus one. I'll tell you those games, and I'm going to share with you my resource on how I found out this information. Without any further ado, these are the 18 plus one games in alphabetical order. Right off the bat, 1080 snowboarding. Well, it's not bad to have a sports game on here, if you consider this a sports game. It's a fun game. If you don't care for snowboarding, you don't care for racing games, it's still a fun game. It's still worth having on this system. Then we have Bomberman 64. Super fun game. Super fun game. Glad this one made it. Next up, I was hoping this would be on the list. This is Donkey Kong 64. Yes, Rare was involved, but it is a Donkey Kong franchise, and I think Rare lent them the ability, or Nintendo said, hey, Rare, see what you can do with Donkey Kong 64. So, hey, you got Donkey Kong Classic on the Super Nintendo. Excitebike 64? I never played this one, but I do remember when this was demoed at our Software Etc. They had Excitebike 64, but everybody was playing it to play the original Excitebike for the NES, because that's one of like the add-ons on there. F-Zero X, just because, why not? It's F-Zero, it can't go wrong. I'm not the biggest F-Zero fan, but I had a lot of fun with F-Zero X. I like the whole, like, riding on the tubes and going upside down and stuff like that. It's a fun game. Kirby 64. Now, this one's great. I love the idea of combining powers to come up with something different. So you can inhale, like, the spark and the fire, and I think you put them both together, it becomes like a static shock kind of thing or something like that. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. Another sports game, but with a twist. It's Mario Golf. Mario Golf. Yeah, why not? Inevitably, Mario Kart 64. This one, is it better than the Super Nintendo one? A lot of people say it is. Now this next one is interesting. It's Mario Party 2. Not Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2. Mario Party 1 isn't even on this list. Now I don't know if between the three Mario Parties for the 64 that this was the better one, or I don't know, is the answer. But Mario Party 2 on this list, not Mario Party 1. Interesting. Another sports game, Mario Tennis. Another game I haven't played, but I'm sure it's awesome. It's Mario, can't go wrong. Then we have Paper Mario. Got that Mario RPG element in this one. This one's decent. I'm not a huge fan of RPGs, but this one makes it fun, and it makes it interactive, so even though it is still kind of turn-based battles, there's still some interactivity involved. Next up, thank you, Pokemon Snap. Easily the best game for the Nintendo 64. Well, outside of Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, I'm sure that's not going to be on this list, though. Pokemon Snap. I love it. I play through it at least once a year. Then we have Star Fox 64. This one would have to make the list, too. Gotta have Star Fox on this system, right? Another inevitable, Super Mario 64. Gotta have Super Mario 64 on here. One of the best Mario games ever. It'll be cool, too, because a lot of people today playing Mario Odyssey for the first time can go back and play Mario 64, and they're like, oh, it's similar. You can see where you get all the nuances and all that, too, so... Cool. I'm happy for these next two. We got Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. You got them both on here. Right on. You got your Wave Race 64. I played this one a lot. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I still played it a lot just because it was one of those earlier titles. My friend loved this game, though, so awesome to have on the list. And then finally on the standard list is Yoshi's Story. This is a fun game. It's just a cute, fun platformer. Pretty simple, but it's Yoshi, and everything looks like it's made out of, like, construction paper or something like that, so I like this game a lot. It's one of the games I still have on my 64, and I'm happy to have this on the list, too. So those are the 18 games, and then the plus one, the variable, the you gotta pick up this system because we've never released it in America before, is Sin and Punishment. It was an import only. It only came out for the Japanese Nintendo 64, but it also did come out for the Virtual Console for the Wii. So I was like, well... You already have it translated officially. May as well put it on this too. So I think that they're going to market it as 18 plus 1. Those 18 original ones, and then the plus 1 is Sin and Punishment. Which I'm all about. If you're not familiar with Sin and Punishment, it's an on-rail shooter. Think as if Nintendo made like a Space Harrier. It's kind of like that in a way. But instead of flying around, you can just jump and dash and, you know, side maneuver and stuff like that. I think you can like cartwheel or something. Roll out of the way. It's a fun game. I'm a huge fan of it, so awesome that this game is on the list. Now, how did I come up with these games? Why is this list leaked? Where did it come from? Did it come from Sony? Are there people at Microsoft or maybe Sega is trying to get the last word in edgewise or something like that. This list came from Nintendo. Nintendo's official website. It's linked in the description below. This is nintendo.co.uk. I could not find this list on the US site, but it is on the official Nintendo UK site. And they have these 19 Nintendo 64 manuals. Now, granted, it could be that they're going to release a virtual console for the Switch, and they're releasing these in advance, but come on, seriously. Seriously. It's the perfect amount of games for a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. If they had more games than this for their official manuals, they would probably have Mario Party 1 included in this, you would think. So is it the official list? 100%? Well, I can't confirm that. But, come on. Seriously. Nintendo 64 Classic Edition, those have got to be your games. Games subject to change. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Mario Party 1 on there. No, thanks to licensing, you're not going to see No Mercy. You're not going to see GoldenEye. I am a little bummed Mischief Makers didn't make this list. I am a little sad Blast Corps wasn't on this list. And again, curiously, no Pilot Wings 64. That was a Nintendo franchise. Pilot Wings wasn't on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, and it's not on this. What? Well, again, check out the link in the description below. Bless you and everyone you hug. Take care. We'll see ya.